Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the emergency storage shed for episode 94. Yep, we're back from the farm. We've got a relaxing week here, catching up on jobs around the house. I've mowed the lawns, done a few other things. Monday afternoon, let's get into our unboxing for this week and knock it over fairly quickly because I've got to get back to an e-waste marathon video I'm doing, and there's always other projects. This week, we've got to look at that old VCR, the top loader Betamax. Actually, it's not a Betamax, it's a Beta Cord, which is Sanyo's version, I believe. No idea if it works, don't even remember where it come from. It's been a bit beaten up. Let's go and see if we can, I don't know, make some smoke. So this is the second bottom shelf here to clean off with this thing, and after that, and next week, we'll be doing, there's a tub of old tools. It looks like a large block and tackle with a couple of pulleys. I don't know what's behind there, another box of something. We'll tackle that next week. This week we're going to lug this thing through to the workbench. I'm guessing it's pretty heavy, so I'll take it through. We'll give it a bit of a look over. I'll check the model number, and yeah, I reckon we should plug it in. Even though I don't have a Betamax or a Beta tape to go in it, or a cassette, we should be able to power it up and at least see if it lights up or has any signs of life at all. Yep, I was right. It's a heavy one. Perhaps that's why VHS took over from Beta, because they were a lot lighter and they made a lot cheaper. Apparently Sony came up with the Betamax in 1975, and then I think JVC came out with the VHS, which is Video Home System, and those two sort of fought for nearly a decade, I believe, on who was going to take over the market. Eventually VHS won out, probably because it was a lot lighter. I think it wasn't as good a quality, but it was cheaper, and perhaps that's what the market wanted at the time. These things apparently had a smaller cassette. I've never owned one of these, and I believe they were better quality, and certainly with the sound, but then again, people didn't want to spend huge bucks on heavy things, and I guess VHS won the war. Don't know if they're collectible, don't know if they're worth much, but I want to plug it in and see what happens. So it's larger dimensions than a normal VHS player by a long way, but then it's early. It's got the wood grain sides, although I think it's actually just metal. I don't think it's real timber. But that kind of dates it to the 70s. So this must have been a pretty early model. It is Sanyo, but it's lost the O, so it's had a bit of a ding at the front there, or a scrape across there. It says Beta Cord video cassette recorder. Quite a nice display panel. It looks like it's probably got a red LED display. Typical sort of switches that you get on your oh, what's going on? That one's either broken or something's going on there. So they're the similar sort of piano key type switches you get on your cassette players back in the day. The top loading is pretty cool. Yeah. There's a tuner, obviously. You can run your TV through it. Oh, they even give you a little tool. How cool is that? It looks like one of the clips is broken. Okay, that switches from video to antenna, so you can just have your normal TV channels, I guess. But it's a bulky unit, and it is heavy, as I said. I don't know what the thing weighs. What have we got on the back? Does it give us a model number here? Sanyo model VTC-9300PN, made in Japan. So I'm guessing it's a late 70s model. I'll have to check online to see if anyone buys these things. I've got to make a decision on what to do with it. I'm not going to do a restoration video or anything. As I said, I haven't got a Beta cassette anyway. It's something I know very little about, and there's not much point me learning about them because I'm probably never going to see another one. So I reckon we'll just dust it off, give it a bit of a wipe over. I'll check online to see what sort of values we have, if any, and then I'll make my decision from there whether we just sell it as is or whether we scrap it out. If I find a few online cheap and they're just not selling, I'll probably just scrap it out. But yeah, we'll plug it in and see if anything powers up though. Okay, I'm just going to check the cord, make sure there's no bad damage to it. It looks okay. Now, I did a quick search online. These came out in 1980 to 1982, although I did see one advertised at 1979, but they're certainly around that era, within the first 5 years of these things coming out. Sanyo obviously came into the market after Sony, being the first ones to come up with it. So I'm going to plug it into my portable appliance tester. Now, values, I saw quite a lot on eBay. You know, they're not rare. In fact, you can still buy new belt kits for them, and one of the belt kit packages I saw had already had 55 people buy it. So obviously these are around. They're not a rare item, even though they're getting back a bit. Let's power it up. Okay, we have a green LED flashing there. We don't have any smoke. That's on standby. Now, we didn't know what was wrong with this button, I think. Oh, maybe it hasn't broken. Maybe it just pulled out. Yeah, that feels okay now. All right, let's switch it on. Our power LEDs come on. So it seems to power up okay. I would imagine the belts are going to be no good. Let's see if play does anything. Oh, it probably won't until we put a cassette in there. Yeah, these must clip back in, so they might be a bit worn. Probably nothing happens until there's a cassette in there, actually. I think I can hear a motor running in there. And the spindles turn. So mechanically it might be okay, other than perhaps needing belts. A shame I don't have a cassette to put in here, because we can't actually see if anything operates. Anyway, it does power up, so I think that's all we can do. I'm going to wipe it over just so it looks a bit more presentable. I might blow it out with the air compressor. Value, well, I saw one listed at $1,500. Obviously someone was dreaming. That was overseas. A few in Australia. One sold for $55 with 3 bids, and they said it powers on, but they didn't have a cassette, so same deal. $50. All right, I don't think I'll put that much on it in the shop. I think I'll just wipe it down, put it in the shop for something like 30, and someone can have a play with it. But it's a fair chance it's going to work, probably just with a belt kit and a good clean-up. It's going to be pretty dirty inside. I'll just make it more presentable than the outside. It's a shame that it's had a bit of a ding on the front, but we'll try and get $30 for it. Back to this shelf now, given that the VCR didn't take long to sort out. Let's get probably the rope and the pulleys and work out if we're going to sell that as a block and tackle, or whether it even is, or whether we just sell the pulleys separately. We'll have a look behind this box too, and perhaps we'll drag this one out now. We'll do this one next week because there's some interesting spanners and things in there, but I want to see what's behind it. Okay. Oh, this is, I don't think this is farm stuff, but there's some pretty cool bits and pieces in there, and this looks like an old socket set. It appears to be. All right, we'll do that next week. It's too much to do now, and even this one, there might be 2 more weeks. We'll see. We should be able to get through this one pretty quick, but I think that one's going to be more interesting. But let's take this into the bench and work out the best way to sell it. Okay, these are seriously big pulley hooks. In fact, the rope looks decidedly inadequate for the task. So I'm pretty sure these hooks, I'm not going to try and sell this as a block and tackle. I'm going to pull the rope off it and sell it per hook. These are great ones. They'll get pretty good money, I reckon $40 to $50 each in the shop. In an unboxing a while back, I found a block and tackle with pulleys and a rope, which I sold complete for $30. I valued it at $30 and I sold it, I think, the second weekend in for $30. This one, I'm not going to get 100 as a block and tackle. Someone's going to want the pulley hooks for decorator items. So that's what I'm going to do, and I might get a bonus $5 just to sell the rope if it'll come off easily enough. I think this will undo. Yeah, easy. Look at that. Oh, I've got to feed it through here. But now, I don't think they're branded. I did once have some pulley hooks that were branded Furphy, which is a local engineering or foundry company that dates back to the 1800s, and some Furphy stuff is very collectible and brings a lot of money. These ones I think will just be generic type pulleys, but they're really good. They'll sell well. I'll get the rope off it. Hopefully the rope's all in one piece. It should be. And yeah, we'll have a look at them then. And here we go. Just to finish up this video, we have the pulley hooks separated. There's a 2 pulley one and a 3 pulley one. I'm going to go 45 on this one and 55 on that one, so it equals $100. A really nice length of rope. If I didn't have enough ropes, I'd keep that one. It's nice and soft, it's strong, appears to be no issues. I'm just going to put $10 on that in the shop, and I think I'll get it pretty easily. There's often people coming through that have a trailer with stuff on, and they say, oh, where can I buy a rope? So even if $10 seems a bit dear for a second-hand rope, I'm sure someone will grab it because it'll be convenient. And the VCR cleaned up fairly well, actually, just with the dust off, and I wiped it over with some Armor All. Clearly, though, it can't be sold as going because I haven't been able to test it other than power it up. And it does have a few issues. The marks on the front. I think these buttons, even though, yeah, see, that I don't think that can be right. It does clip back in, but I think either the clip is worn or something's broken behind it. But it may well go. Someone might use it for parts. I'm going to try and get $30 for it. It'll bring back some good memories for some people anyway who had that model. And it'll look cool in the shop. Just for interest's sake, I weighed the thing. It weighs 19 kilos. So that's heavy for a VCR. And I did find that when they were sold new in 1981 or 82, they were $1,295. So $1,295. You could have bought a car back then. A good second-hand car for that money. So that's crazy. They must have been... I guess, you know, new technology, everyone wants it. Prices are dear when they first come out and they get cheaper and cheaper. Anyway, we'll see if we can find a collector for that. So our total for this episode comes to $140 with thanks to those pulleys. And I'll have no troubles getting that. And until I do, they'll actually look great in the shop. I'll probably hang them off a ladder and hang something off them. I don't mind if they don't sell quickly, but I suspect they will. So there we go, $140. Awesome. So thanks for watching another episode, guys. Our total now is over $15,000 out of that shed. It just keeps ticking over. I almost see that counter rolling over in the background. And it's providing some interesting stock for the shop too. And the biggest bonus is I'm gradually getting a shed back that I can't wait to get some stuff set up in there properly and to allow me a better setup here for doing repairs and get that lathe set up eventually. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.